What is going on, guys? Al Bunny back again, and I've been on a pretty long break, I guess you could call, and that's due to a lot of things, work, just just being busy in general, and I'll admit that a lot of it also has to do with a lack of motivation, um, and I say that in that, like, there's always this innate feeling when you like making YouTube videos. There's always this innate feeling where you always feel like making videos because if you like something, obviously, you want to do it as much as you possibly can. But then there's also the laziness that kicks in, and all the other stuff that comes with it. So sometimes it outweighs that feeling of fun. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about what we saw at E3, and what we saw at E3 was pretty next level stuff. Obviously we have the console wars going on, and I felt that PlayStation actually came out on top. More so after E3 than before it, because before E3 you kind of had the feeling that because the two reveals were so, I'm not going to say far apart, but they were I think a month and a half or so apart from each other, that you couldn't really gauge the interest level, or the which side people were leaning toward. And after E3, I think it's pretty safe to say that most people were or are still leaning toward Sony, and the reason is, as we all know, it's the DRM thing, the fact that you can't, you can no longer sell your used games back, and it's their policies basically, and this isn't the case with Sony. But again, I'll input now that Microsoft has rebutted their stance on these policies, and there's no longer any DRM requirement. They're not going to check in on you every 24 hours to make sure that you're connected to the internet. And who knows what their real reasoning behind that was. People will say that it's anti-piracy and all that stuff, but who knows the real reason? Only they know. But it's obvious that even they felt that they'd fallen behind far enough that they needed to completely 180 their stance on this, and in hopes of evening out the odds, because even now Sony has what I consider a pretty sizable lead in the early goings of the console wars. And I think what Sony did for their two conferences, the reveal, and then the actual the E3 conference, where they revealed everything, because as you remember, the early reveal, they didn't actually show the console, but they pretty much continued right where they left off, after they had shown all the gameplay, all the new titles that they had come out, that they'd come out with and are developing. They pretty much continued on that track at E3, and I think what it did was it reassured the gamers that Sony is focusing on on gaming. Certainly the console's going to have it's going to have all its social media features built in. It's going to have, the ability to record and share your footage with your friends. It's got that, somewhat unique feature where you can, there's a way that you can, if let's say if your buddy has this part where he's, stuck in a certain part of a game, and you can actually hop in and help him out. You yourself will be able to control what he's seeing on his screen, you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to control and help them out that way. Obviously, there's other reasons for wanting to do that, but that's another feature they'll have built in, and they'll probably have some sort of TV, Blu-ray, special feature, akin to what Microsoft has going, and by that, of course, we mean that they have all the TV features, and without going into specifics, Microsoft lost because as we all know, they didn't exactly focus on gaming as much as they probably should have. There was a really funny parody video on the internet where it showed the person edited out everything except for the most used words in the conference, and they were TV and television included within that. TV, sports, and Call of Duty. And Call of Duty is a game, so I personally let them slide. I let that slide because Call of Duty's it's the AAA franchise right now, and I'm a pretty big fan myself, so I have no problem with them showcasing Call of Duty. But TV and sports, they almost made it seem like they like watching sports through your console and then through your TV was something that people were dying to see, and that's not true. Who would want to have to go through all that trouble of having your NFL service, whatever whatever it is, their service they're partnering with the NFL is gonna be like, who would see that as necessary, to be honest with you? Or even something, I mean, it's cool, but it's gimmicky, and it's not something that is totally necessary. And we watch football on our TVs already. Why would we need it to go through on our Xbox? And then they had the the voice command that integrates with your TV watching. You have the change channel, volume up, whatever, Xbox start game, or I don't remember the actual commands, but stuff like that. And they didn't focus so much on gaming. They did a little bit more at E3. They revealed their exclusives and their non-exclusives, and games like Titanfall. The fact that they locked that up, that's a pretty big win for them. Titanfall looks amazing. And then in the aftermath, they've announced no more DRM. You'll be able to sell your games exactly the way you sell your 360 games. And who knows where the console war tide is going to shift, or if it's going to shift at all, or maybe just shift a bit toward one way or the other. But anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to update not only on me, but on what the the console world is facing right now. If you enjoyed any of this and would like to see more videos from me, because I probably am going to start making more videos now, please leave a like, go ahead and comment, leave your opinion down in the comments section. I'll be glad to respond to your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.
Whatever the words and without a map, listen to the sounds I found a track. Got my sword and